Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome for night two. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or evening or whenever this happens to find you. Let me get my sound check going real quick and then we'll pop in there like usual. There we go. All right.
Like usual.
Yep. Okay. It's
There we
working
go.
good. Awesome. So, what's up, everybody? This is Jay Baldale. Welcome to my channel. We are going to, you know what? Oh, they're playing. That's what's going on. Ha! That's fun. Imagine what it would be like if you were incarnated as a cat. You couldn't even imagine the type of pains like a cat has, or even like a cockroach, or like a plastic water bottle. Imagine you incarnated as a plastic water bottle. Imagine. But that's just in the mind. All right, anyway, everybody. So, what's up? Yep. Happy Feast 2, night 2, at least night for me, where we'll be celebrating the writing of the Book of the Law by reading chapter 2 of the Book of the Law. We read chapter 1 last night, so if you somehow happen across this and didn't catch that one, then you can go find it on my channel, and I certainly recommend it. Okay, so I'm gonna play some music, and then we'll still pull a tarot card beforehand, but yep, until maybe once finish the book tomorrow evening, then I might have a little bit of yap to add, but yep, I'm still planning to mostly just kind of keep this more audiobook style, which will become apparent tomorrow night. I'm sure some of you already know, and that's great. But for those who don't, oh boy, it's going to get spooky. All right, then. That Dhammapada study sure was a good one. I'm looking forward to finishing that up too. That book is a great book. We are blessed to have lots of wonderful transmissions from all across the human race, especially to be alive in a time where we have access to a lot of these. Like someone like Crowley, he wouldn't have even had access to this translation of the Dhammapada. And like he certainly would have read the Dhammapada. He had recommended to read the Dhammapada. Welcome in, everybody coming in. But like this particular translation, he would not have had access to. And certain things were just barely getting translated for the first time. I think things like the Tao Te Ching and the Upanishads and some of that stuff. So, and there's still quite a lot, to my understanding, in a lot of different cultures that has yet to be translated. And I'm sure there's still stuff that's like, I don't know, buried deep in the earth somewhere, in the desert, in the swamps of X. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. In the desert, in like the bayou, maybe it's lost in the bayou. But somewhere out there, there is stuff that is yet to be uncovered. And maybe that's just your inner swamp of the bayou. Maybe once you find a way to clear the way through that, build yourself a pontoon boat and flow down your own inner swampy rivers, well, maybe you will extract one of those gems to bring back for the benefit of all. Like the tarot. That's a great example. This thing, oh man, that's why I like to do these before each and every one, because the tarot is the more you work with it and the more you study it, the more you realize this thing really does got a lot to teach you. And with that being said, let's split the deck there, and it's that card, and it is cups. Cups are a trump. I was right the second time. A trump. Wheel of Fortune. Nice. Well, that's fitting since we see those three, what we could interpret as these kind of different archetypes that we're also going to see reflected in this book that make the wheel go round. That's why this is in 3 chapters. And some of you may know, some of you might not, that the legend Jack Parsons, he allegedly Welcome in once your goddess. Great to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening. And so Jack Parsons allegedly says that he received the hidden fourth part to the Book of the Law, but most everybody else disagrees with that. Now, what's a lot of what Jack Parsons wrote, and especially things like Liber 49, are great. I mean, his humanness still, yeah, peeked through a bit, that's for sure. But Jack Parsons did make a lot of good contributions in his time spent here. And so that's what we see in this card a bit is we see Jupiter, right? We see the demiurge, the mind on one level, the cough, the palm of the hand. Well, what do you think when you see a palm of the hand? I think this can be used to build. I think this can also be used to destroy. Same with this wheel right here. This wheel can be used to build or to destroy. Our incarnation, that's kind of the point, is figuring out why we're on this wheel once again, and how do we see this wheel through to the end? Because people like the Buddha going to the Dhammapada, they're a real unique type. You know, not too many of those come along too often who really achieve that, whatever that thing is that they achieve. And so for the rest of us, that's why he left, for example, like the eightfold path and some of that stuff. Like right occupation is one of those. Well, we use our hands to work, right? And some people's work involves destroying things. Maybe you're like a demolition specialist, so all you do is come tear down things for another crew to come build on top of. Maybe you work in explosives, and so whatever, you know what I mean? So I think, especially since we're doing this Book of the Law reading, to get this card is without a doubt no coincidence. I mean, none of it would be a coincidence, but this one especially, because this is a real important one. This is Jupiter, you know. So the demiurge, and a lot of people, there's a lot of that hype on the internet about, oh, the demiurge is keeping us trapped and enslaved, and that's what the Matrix was about, bro. And yeah, I mean, sure, kinda, sorta, right? Yeah, sure, exactly. Um, and I haven't watched those movies, all of those movies, but from what I've heard from people who have watched them all, is that well, it's a series worth watching. I've only really watched the first one, and then part of that, like the Animatrix, if you remember that one. But from what I've heard anyway, and anybody can correct me if this is wrong because I'm only going off what I've heard from other people, is that Neo basically goes through that whole journey to figure that exact thing out. Oh, it's a matrix. You need to wake up. You need to escape, only to realize, like, oh, maybe I should have just been playing the game all along. So, yeah, those Buddhas who come along and just can like just dip, who are like, but still he chose not to. It's not like he just achieved this mass enlightenment and then he was gone, like dust in the wind, poof. Nope. He decided, oh, okay, I figured this thing out. I'm gonna try to help other people figure this thing out. But there's a process to it, and so figure out what that means for you. You really got to figure out what that means for you. And if it's something that brings about suffering, well, know from those teachings as well that I mean, that sure, that might be what you are meant to do with this incarnation. I mean, if you don't actually contact like your higher self, your holy guardian angel, anything like that, if you don't spend like a significant amount of time investing into figuring out, you know, what it is you really should do, and probably part of you knows deep down, then yeah, you'll be doing that guesswork. You'll be lying to yourself. You'll be dressing up. You'll be making excuses for the suffering you caused to others, and you'll be hiding behind it with philosophy and NLP and things like that. And ultimately, that's just disguising your ego with like a level of enlightenment or whatever. You know what I mean? That's trying to pretend that there's like an enlightenment there that's not actually really there. But who knows? You know, at the end of the day, yeah, it's all a big nothing. It's all. Well, there's nothing. There is no enlightenment. There is no nothing. Well, hey, I can knock on this, and it's pretty knockable. My cat can meow, and she's pretty meowable. But hey, well, are you there right now? Let me ask you that. Are you there right now? Because if so, let's see it. Where's your proof? All right, anybody? All right, I think I yapped enough. Figure out why this wheel is crushing you and figure out how to ride it instead. And let's read chapter 2. Jupiter. Because, yep, Jupiter could be like, yeah, that demiurge, it could be a bad thing or it could be a good thing, I guess. Just like the abundance of Jupiter, where you could feel like this Jupiter and all his archons, like we saw in the Dhammapada from our other tarot today, that Seven of Swords. Yep, all these 7 archons and the great big demiurge on top of it all. They really got me slaved. Well, it's a mindset, baby. All right, then. I thought I already said I yapped enough. Now I did, I guess. All right. So chapter 2. There it is. Because this book, I'll tell you, this one really does hit a whole lot different the more you sit with it. Like when I first read this book, I basically, like Proteus said last night, I basically understood nothing. And now I understand about, I don't know, 35% maybe. That's pretty good. That's better than 0 to 35%. That's pretty decent. That's like a decent increase. If you were making 0 profits and all of a sudden you had 35% increase, well, that's a decent increase. Hard to say for sure. All right. So chapter 2, New, the hiding of Hadit. And remember that chapter 1 started out with Had, the manifestation of Nuit. So now, yep, we're getting a transmission from Hadit. New, the hiding of Hadit. Come, all ye, and learn the secret that hath not yet been revealed. I, Hadit, am the complement of Nu, my bride. I am not extended, and Cobbs is the name of my house. In the sphere I am everywhere the center, as she, the circumference, is nowhere found. Yet she shall be known, and I never. Behold, oh, damn it. I'm not supposed to swear. Oh, that verse 4 just hit me hard. Behold, the rituals of the old time are black. Let the evil ones be cast away. Let the good ones be purged by the prophet. Then shall this knowledge go aright. It doesn't matter if I curse. It's because it's part of that discipline from Liber 3 about just controlling the speech. Different ways we do, because like these practices are valuable. You can hear somebody like Shri, whoever, talk about, oh, that's just ego stuff for the ego. And yeah, kind of, sort of, but also like a lot of people need that though in order to especially to attain these levels. Like again, a Sri Ramana doesn't come by all the time who just like it clicks at a young age and then boom, now they're this Swami just radiating pure light and love and compassion and understanding and all that. It just oozes out of them. Do you see that in these internet people who like try to sell you things? Do they just ooze that thing? Probably not. Maybe, probably not. So yeah, for most of us though, right? So things like that, these exercises, these rituals, these disciplines, practices are going to help you ultimately to lead you towards that thing more and more. But oh man, verse 4 got me good. I am the flame that burns in every heart of man, and in the core of every star. I am life, and the giver of life, yet therefore is the knowledge of me, the knowledge of death. I am the magician and the exorcist. I am the axle of the wheel. Oh, goodness. And the cube in the circle. Come unto me is a foolish word, for it is I that go. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Crowley, Oh man, you were great for the ways you were great, huh? Come unto me is a foolish word, for it is I that go. Who worshipped Heru Pa Krath have worshipped me. Ill, for I am the worshipper. Remember all ye that existence is pure joy, that all the sorrows are but as shadows, they pass and are done, but there is that which remains. O prophet, thou hast ill will to learn this writing. I see thee hate the hand and the pen, but I am stronger. Because of me, in thee which thou knewest not. For why? Because thou wast the knower, and me. Now, let there be a veiling of this shrine. Now, let the light devour men and eat them up with blindness. For I am perfect, being not, and my number is 9 by the fools. But with the just I am 8, and 1 in 8, which is vital, for I am none indeed. The empress and the king are not of me, for there is a further secret. And I could see how from our QBL study, I could now, it's even making more sense too. I could certainly see why Frederick Codd made all those switches of the past and the tarot and all that. I am the Empress and the Hierophant, thus 11, as my bride is 11. Hear me, ye people of sighing. The sorrows of pain and regret are left to the dead and the dying, the folk that not know me as yet. These are dead, these fellows, they feel not. We are not for the poor and sad. The lords of the earth are our kinsfolk. Is it God to live in a dog? No, but the highest are of us. They shall rejoice, our chosen, who sorroweth is not of us. Beauty and strength, leaping laughter and delicious languor, force and fire are of us. We have nothing with the outcast and the unfit. Let them die in their misery, for they feel not. Compassion is the vice of kings. Stamp down the wretched and the weak. This is the law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Think not, O king, upon that lie, that thou must die. Verily, thou shalt not die, but live. Now let it be understood. If the body of the king dissolve, he shall remain in pure ecstasy forever. Nuit, hadit, rahor quit. The sun, strength and sight, light. These are for the servants of the star and the snake. I am the snake that giveth knowledge and delight, and bright glory, and stir the hearts of men with drunkenness. To worship me, take wine and strange drugs, whereof I will tell my prophet, and be drunk thereof. They shall not harm ye at all. It is a lie, this folly against self. The exposure of innocence is a lie. Be strong, O man. Lust, enjoy all things of sense and rapture. Fear not that any God shall deny thee for this. I am alone. There is no God where I am. Behold, these be grave mysteries, for there are also of my friends who be hermits. Now think not to find them in the forest or on the mountain, but in beds of purple, caressed by magnificent beasts of women with large limbs, and fire and light in their eyes, and masses of flaming hair about them. There shall ye find them. Ye shall see them at rule, at victorious armies, at all the joy. And there shall be in them a joy a million times greater than this. Beware lest any force another, king against king. Love one another with burning hearts. On the low men trample in the fierce lust of your pride, in the day of your wrath. Ye are against the people, O my chosen. I am the secret serpent coiled about to spring. In my coiling there is joy. If I lift up my head, I and my new wheat are one. If I droop down mine head and shoot forth venom, then is rapture of the earth. And I and the earth are one. There is great danger in me, for who doth not understand these runes shall make a great miss. He shall fall down into the pit called Because, and there he shall perish with the dogs of reason. Now, a curse upon Because and his kin. May Because be accursed forever. If will stops and cries why, invoking Because, then will stops and does not. If power asks why, then power is weakness. Also, reason is a lie, for there is a factor infinite and unknown, and all their words are skew wise. Enough of Because, be he damned for a dog. But ye, O my people, rise up and awake. Let the rituals be rightly performed with joy and beauty. There are rituals of the elements and feasts of the times. A feast for the first night of the prophet and his bride. A feast for the 3 days of the writing of the book of the law. A feast for Tahuti and the child of the prophet's secret, O prophet. A feast for the supreme ritual, and a feast for the equinox of the gods. A feast for fire, and a feast for water. A feast for life, and a greater feast for death. A feast every day in your hearts, in the joy of my rapture. A feast every night unto new, and the pleasure of uttermost delight. Feast, rejoice. I'm used to it's probably feast, rejoice. There is no dread hereafter. There is the dissolution, the eternal ecstasy in the kisses of new. There is death for the dogs. Dost thou fail? Art thou sorry? Is fear in thine heart? Where I am, these are not. Pity not the fallen. I never knew them. I am not for them. I console not. I hate the consoled and the consoler. I am unique and conqueror. I am not of the slaves that perish. Be they damned and dead. Amen. This is of the four. There is a fifth who is invisible, and therein am I as a babe in an egg. Blue am I, and gold in the light of my bride, but the red gleam is in my eyes, and my spangles are purple and green. Purple beyond purple, it is the light higher than eyesight. There is a veil, that veil is black. It is the veil of the modest woman. It is the veil of sorrow, and the pall of death. This is none of me. Tear down that lying spectre of the centuries. Veil not your vices and virtuous words. These vices are my service. Ye do well, and I will reward you here and hereafter. Fear not, O prophet. When these words are said, thou shalt not be sorry. Thou art emphatically my chosen, and blessed are the eyes that thou shalt look upon with gladness. But I will hide thee in a mask of sorrow. They that see thee shall fear thou art fallen, but I lift thee up. Nor shall they who cry aloud their folly that thou meanest not avail. Thou shalt reveal it, thou availest. They are the slaves of Because, they are not of me. The stops as thou wilt, the letters, change them not in style or value. Thou shalt obtain the order and the value of the English alphabet. Thou shalt find new symbols to attribute them unto. Begone, ye mockers, even though ye laugh in my honor. Ye shall laugh not long. Then, when ye are sad, know that I have forsaken you. He that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. Yea, deem not of change. Ye shall be as ye are, and not other. Therefore the kings of the earth shall be kings forever. The slaves shall serve. There is none that shall be cast down or lifted up. All is ever as it was. Yet There are masked ones, my servants. It may be that yonder beggar is a king. A king may choose his garment as he will. There is no certain test, but a beggar cannot hide his poverty. Beware, therefore, love all, lest perchance is a king concealed. Say you so? Fool! If he be a king, thou canst not hurt him. Therefore, strike hard and low, and to hell with them, master. There is a light before thine eyes, O prophet, a light undesired, not desirable. I am uplifted in thine heart, and the kisses of the stars rain hard upon thy body. Thou art exhaust in the voluptuous fullness of the inspiration. The expiration is sweeter than death, more rapid and laughter, more rapid and laughter full than a caress of hell's own worm. Oh, thou art overcome. We are upon thee. Our delight is all over thee. Hail, hail, prophet of Nu, prophet of Hod, prophet of Rahor Ku. Now rejoice. Now come in our splendor and rapture. Come in our passionate peace and write sweet words for the kings. I am the master, thou art the holy chosen one. Write and find ecstasy in writing. Work and be our bed in working. Thrill with the joy of life and death. Ah, thy death shall be lovely. Whoso seeth it shall be glad. Thy death shall be the seal of the promise of our age-long love. Come, lift up thine heart and rejoice. We are one, we are none. Hold, hold, bear up in thy rapture, fall not in swoon of the excellent kisses. Harder, hold up thyself, lift thine head, breathe not so deep, die. Ah, ah, what do I feel? Is the word exhausted? There is help and hope in other spells. Wisdom says, be strong, then canst thou bear more joy. Be not animal, refine thy rapture. If thou drink, drink by the 8 and 90 rules of art. If thou love, exceed by delicacy. If thou do aught joyous, let there be subtlety therein. But exceed, exceed, strive ever to more. And if thou art truly mine, and doubt it not, and if thou art ever joyous, death is the crown of all. Ah, ah, death, death, thou shalt long for death. Death is forbidden, O man, unto thee. The length of thy longing shall be the strength of its glory. He that lives long and desires death, much is ever the king among the kings. I listen to the numbers and the words. 4, 6, 3, 8. A, B, K, 2, 4. A, L, G, M, O, R, 3, Y, X, 24, 89. R, P, S, T, O, V, A, L. What meaneth this, O prophet? Thou knowest not, nor shalt thou know ever. But there cometh one to follow thee, he shall expound it. But remember, O chose none to be me, to follow the love of Nu in the starlit heaven, to look forth upon men, to tell them this glad word. Oh, be thou proud and mighty among men. Lift up thyself, for there is none like unto thee among men or among gods. Lift up thyself, O my prophet, thy stature shall surpass the stars. They shall worship thy name, foursquare, mystic, wonderful, the number of the man and the name of thy house, 418. The end of the hiding of Hadid, and blessing and worship to the prophet of the lovely star. Boom. All right, then. Chapter 2 of the Book of the Law. by dear old Uncle Al. All right, then. Well, not much to add. Not much to add except for I'm excited to finish it up tomorrow night. And I hope you are getting some of this. Yeah, a bunch of that still. A bunch of that. I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. On some of it, but then other things for sure. Like I said at the beginning, oh yeah, some of it. Oh, buddy, it hits you like a Mack truck. Hits you like a freight train. All right, friends and most wonderful people. I love you all so much. I appreciate you all so much. And I'll see you tomorrow. This has been Jay Baldale. This has been Aleister Crowley's The Book of the Law. And this has also been my cat howling in the background. Much love, many blessings, and bye-bye.